welcome to Curiousaholic. My name's Tony Soprano, and I'm here with my favorite piano player, John Wick.
Hello, beautiful people.
So, before I get into today's episode, here's a quick rundown of how the podcast works. Each episode, one of us comes up with a topic we're curious about and reveals it live to the other person in the hopes to spark a deep discussion and further our knowledge of the world around us.
Yes, sir.
So,
I'm ready.
You ready?
Get into action.
Yeah, so I told Heiko to wear a suit today. Last time, he was wearing a suit on this podcast, and he told me to wear a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
Now we're even, kind of.
No, we're both the same, yeah. And
you guys could be the judge. It was a nicer suit.
yeah, who pulled it off better?
You guys don't know, but Heiko's like not wearing pants like behind the keyboard.
Man, why'd you have to tell them? That was my dirty.
Now he's wearing his suit pants, so we're good.
I'm all good. Got all my suit, complete.
Already. Yeah, so I told Heiko that today we're going to be becoming men. We're going to be growing and developing. And
that was his theme, yeah. I mean, at first I was like, suspicious. Is this like part 2 of like the work-life balance episode that I did, which was the one where I wore, the suit and you wore just a casual t-shirt. But I'm not sure. I don't know.
It could tie into that, but it's not exactly that. Okay, so I'm going to show you the teaser, and then we're going to get into what we're going to be discussing today.
Yeah, why we have these suits on. That's
So you ready to see my teaser?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, it's going to be a silly teaser as usual. All right, Heiko told me to use the mouse on this one. So, all right, so the teaser is my balls are finally going to drop after this episode.
What the fuck?
Did you see the picture?
When do balls? Yeah, it's just like a bunch of tennis balls.
Yeah, so this teaser is completely not that relevant, but basically, so I want to use this episode for us to develop and, just increase our ability in life in general and in all kinds of different areas.
Okay.
So do you have any idea what we're going to be talking about? You kind of, you tinkered with the idea of the work-life balance, which is not completely wrong.
Okay.
But also not entirely related.
I mean, when do balls drop? I mean,
and it's not. You know what's funny? It's the second teaser we do that's related to this. The other time was you gave me a poem or it was like a riddle about semen or something.
Yeah, that episode about the EDCs.
Yeah. Okay, but it's not gonna be about that.
Okay, it's not related to those types of balls. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
when
it's
do
not a very
balls
good
drop?
It's not a really good teaser. So
Well, one thing that comes to mind is about puberty. But
yeah, you know what? It's okay. We're not talking about puberty, but
I guess when you become a man.
Yeah, but it's not
when your balls drop and you're
I'll give you another hint. Okay. So before this topic, this episode, I mentioned that in one episode we failed to record an entire episode about something.
Oh. Are we redoing that?
We're doing that one, yeah.
Oh, really?
Okay, so we're going to be talking about essential skills, so we could be like this man here.
Of course, you have to put his face.
Yeah, so we're going to become like Ty Lopez by the end of this episode.
Knowledge.
Yeah, so last time we recorded this whole episode about essential skills. 2 things happened that day. One of them was the format of the episode. It was really like complex, and we really went deep kind of, and there was a lot of different elements going on.
Yeah. And it was long-winded a bit.
Yeah, it was a bit long-winded. And I always thought the topic could be useful because just a lot of people are looking for, different skills to learn and different areas to improve in their lives.
I think, we can tackle this, in a good way.
Yeah, but I didn't talk about what happened afterwards. So we recorded a whole episode of, I think, maybe like an hour and a half, and nothing at all recorded. The audio was completely messed up.
That was a lesson, yeah.
Let's hope this episode is not cursed. And
match.
And you'll actually get to see this one. That would be really funny.
No, I checked. I'm making sure.
Yeah, we're good today.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we're gonna be tackling this one again, so that hopefully you guys can have a definitive guide of how to become, proper adults and men.
Have the actual life skills.
Yeah, so that's
you
kind of what
need.
I want to talk about. Yeah, and the reason why I made us wear these suits is just, to look professional. And,
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
You know,
Because we're trying to teach
yeah,
essential skills. So
Exactly.
we need to look the part.
right. You could use all these, put them on your CV or whatever, and get hired instantly at your next job. But yeah, see,
Guarantee.
that's only one element of all the essential skills in life, right? Like there's so many more like skills that are important
Yeah.
than just, intellectual or
Work related.
work related skills. Okay. So I think the way we should go about this is I defined like 5 categories for skills that I think are really important, and we're just gonna talk about a few here and there. Like we don't have to go super in depth like our first attempt at this.
Yeah, I know.
So let's try it.
Yeah, it's been a while since that episode, so I mean, I can't
Yeah.
really remember everything we talked
Yeah,
about.
but I structured it completely different, so it's probably not gonna be the same. I didn't even use the same like presentation. I started from scratch. Just wanted to
Which is good.
try it again, see how we can make it work. And if it doesn't work, well, we tried.
We always give our best.
Yeah,
It's about
there
the
we go.
curiosity.
Exactly. So, all right. So here are the categories that I chose that I think are important, and I think there are probably different categories that you could expand your skills in, and
I mean,
You'll
I
benefit
think this
from.
covers
yeah.
the major.
Okay. So the first category that I chose was interpersonal and social skills. And you know what? At first, I didn't create this list in order of precedence or importance, whatever. But then when I wrote them out, I actually find it's like the most comprehensive way to think about it. It's like if you don't have interpersonal skills, and you don't know how to communicate with people, like what is your purpose in life? Like you're not going to do anything. Like you can't really do anything. You know what I mean?
Because you need to interact with people at the end of the day.
Right.
And other categories are affected
Exactly.
some
And
level.
if you don't know how to communicate and you're not confident, then that lack of confidence is going to translate to every other area in your life, right? So I think communication is probably one of the most important things, right? Even when a baby is just, born, what's one of the first things he learns, right? Is,
To talk.
to talk, either to move somewhat, I guess, like crawl, whatever, and then to talk maybe second or first, depending the baby, right?
He's not going to start learning how to, manage money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. So the first category, like I said, interpersonal or social. The second one is physical, right? So anything related to fitness or just manual skills. So
Okay.
when I say physical, it's not just like health and fitness. I also tie in like your ability to do manual labor kind of skill like that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Just handy with your hands.
Yeah. Then intellectual, right? If you don't have a healthy body, I guess you can't really focus on having like a career or whatever, because you're going to be like bedridden and stuff like that. So that's why I put physical, like I guess above intellectual if you want.
Oh, okay. So is it in a kind of hierarchy?
Yeah, like I don't want it to be like thought that way, but it's just kind of the way I
Flowed.
perceive it. Yeah, the way it flows in my head. Yeah, because like it's important to go to school and get a job, education, whatever. But if you don't have other, if your physical state is lacking, or your social skills are lacking, then you're not going to be very good at your job if you can't go to work every day because you're not healthy, or you can't talk to people at work, right? So that's kind of the way I look at it.
Makes sense. All right.
And then the second to last one is the financial skills, right? I think in general in life it's important to know basic finance skills, whether it be like in the market or saving up money, stuff like that. And the last one is creative.
Yeah. Because we all need a creative outlet somehow.
Yeah, like this is our creative outlet, amongst others, I guess, right? We have a
course.
couple, like you, for example,
Music.
or me too, actually. Yeah. So, those are the 5 categories. We're going to dive into each one and hopefully not take up like 5 hours of our day here. But, all right.
Should be good.
Yeah, we should be good. Okay, so let's start with interpersonal and social. Oh, Seems
the
like
mouse.
the mouse. Yeah. All right. So interpersonal skills. So I noted down like three, I guess, like important ones, and we could talk about these. And if we have more, we'll dive into those as well.
Yeah.
So I think the first one I kind of mentioned it earlier is confidence, right? So confidence is just the basis of success in any aspects of life. Without confidence, you're unlikely to succeed in anything you try to do, right? You're not gonna go far in anything really if you're not confident and you don't believe in yourself and you don't try your best to become more confident without letting ego get into the way. That's important to distinguish too.
Yeah, not be arrogant necessarily. Just be confident that you're capable and that you can. If you don't know something, then you can learn it. That's what
Yeah, exactly.
confidence just in yourself, that you have the potential and ability.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a good point. Yeah, to be able to know that you could learn new things and you could grow as a person and not always stay stagnant. Right, your confidence is going to grow as you become more mature and you
Yeah.
learn new stuff as well.
Yeah, exactly. Confidence is just knowing what you're capable of and what you can achieve.
Yeah.
The more you achieve, the more you become confident. It's just kind of natural.
Yeah, and people always try to bring you down, and your confidence sometimes takes a hit from that, right? But at the end of the day, you got to think that you're worth it, and you shouldn't give a crap about whatever other people think.
If you're doing your best, and why
Yeah.
worry?
So I think this confidence thing kind of ties in also to like, once you're able to talk to people and just be able to talk in general and be upfront and not be shy of what people think of you, then comes in teamwork, right? If you're not able to work in a team or you don't have friends, then life kind of becomes meaningless, right? Everyone needs friends. As much as you want to be alone sometimes, and it's okay to be alone, at the end of the day, you still need to have people around you, right?
Yeah. You can't just work in a void by yourself. I mean, you can, but people go far in life and evolve when they work in a team.
Yeah.
That's how our
Exactly.
human race has evolved.
And the thing is with teamwork is that it makes it so much easier to, like, whenever there are problems or just issues or conflicts, whatever, if you're alone in that, you're never going to go forward, and you're always going to hit like roadblocks, and you're always going to be digging for answers, while you could just ask someone and they might have an easy fix or an easy answer for you, right? So I think teamwork is good in that sense.
Yeah, I agree. So that's a good skill to have as well. To not be like super closed off, not be like, oh, I don't need anyone. Like,
Yeah.
In a lot of like our modern culture, it's always like, razor focused on your own self, your own confidence, your own skills, without really thinking that you need to work with other people to achieve your goals. And it's fine, to have the help of others. And
Yeah, exactly.
so,
Yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes, some people are just, they like being alone, but sometimes it doesn't work for them. They're just always alone, and they're not
stuck.
progressing in life, right? They're just
yeah, it's
kind
like,
of stagnant.
yeah, exactly. It's like you might achieve greater potential by seeking the help of others, by collaborating, by
Yeah.
working with others. So,
I know so many people that are just, I find they're alone in their, in their own world, and if they would just reach out more, then it would be easier
Yeah.
for them, and
they might discover new
Yeah.
things, and who knows. It's the fear, it's the fear of rejection, or the fear of,
yeah, you're right about that.
not being able to get along with people, or conflict. People can be very conflict averse. Oh, I don't want to deal with, anyone getting mad or getting annoyed, or et cetera, et cetera. But
Yeah, and that kind of ties into confidence, right? Like always being afraid of what others think of you and stuff like that, and that's why they don't want to work as a team. So
they kind of tie.
they kind of tie in.
Yeah.
Like if you're not confident in yourself, it's going to be really hard to approach people. It's going to be really hard to find any, spouse or whatever you want to call it, like mate.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard.
So any other aspect of life
Yeah.
will be affected. Yeah.
So that was for and kind of also to tie in, I guess, communication, right? So when I say communication, I think more of like language and just being able to express yourself in a more efficient way, right? If you if you're limited in your language skills, then you're not going to be able to give your thoughts and express yourself properly to whoever you want to talk to, or whether it be in a podcast setting or just in life, right?
Yeah, so I mean, communication, it's always a word that's thrown around everywhere, in workplace and personal life. But at the end of the day, it's not about just talking a lot and, babbling on. It's about effective communication, about knowing, like, how to approach people, how to express yourself, your needs, your feelings, with, like, friends and family, how to, like, not violently communicate as well.
Yeah, that's a good one. I didn't think about, right? The feelings aspect, right? Just being able to express how you feel to someone.
Yeah.
That's such a hard thing to do, right?
'Cause
Like, I feel like I'm still struggling with that. Probably you too, right?
Yeah,
It's it's hard.
Because we tend to resort to more violent measures, and violent doesn't mean like upright, physical aggression or anything. It just means, criticizing, passive aggressive, attacks, low key jabs, all of the things where it's like you don't get anywhere with, the way you communicate. But instead, it's best to learn to be like, okay, what you did makes me feel a certain way because I need this, and would you, help me out in this situation, instead of saying, oh, you're, X.
Yeah, and if and those people that are not able to receive those ideas and understand your feelings, then they're probably not able to communicate either, right? Like
they're also lacking in that sense.
They're stuck in that rut too.
So you can try to do as much as you can from your side to be as clear and whatnot, but if the receiving end can't receive the message, then sometimes you have to remove yourself from the situation, or say, have some time to think about this and come back to me.
Yeah, exactly.
So
so those are the interpersonal skills I came up with. Do you have any others that come to mind?
For like interpersonal skills, I mean, no, I think these are like, the big ones, really. I would say one of the biggest is communication. The pillars of interpersonal skills. Other than that, I mean, no.
Maybe we'll think about another one later.
Maybe
something.
later on.
But I think
it covers it.
Pretty much. Like, you could probably like come up with other skills, but it could probably also tie into one of these three.
Okay, like being empathetic, or
right, and it's like a sub branch of one of these, right, kind of thing.
Yeah, like communication.
Yeah,
really.
It's like exactly.
Just
if you're empathetic, then you're able to sympathize, and that's, I guess, a sense of communication, right? You're going to talk to the person, be like,
you
hey,
understand
I understand your problem, or whatever. So yeah. So those are the interpersonal skills. Let's move on to another category, shall we?
Mouse.
Oh, wow, that jumped quite a bit for some reason. All right,
physical skills.
All right, so I mentioned, I think the second most important is the physical skills, or however you want to call that, but I think physical kind of sums
broad.
up. Yeah. So the most important physical skill to have is just general fitness. Okay. So it's important to understand basic fitness and nutrition, just to be able to live your life and survive, basically. If you don't have that, you're nothing. Like, okay.
Well, I mean, some people, I guess back in the days, I don't think a lot of people knew much, but...
Yeah, but back in the day, people were not dying of obesity every weekend,
Oh, okay.
That's the thing.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, they didn't have that easy access of, like, cheap and palatable foods.
Yeah, they didn't even need to understand it, because most of the time...
nothing was said against them.
Exactly. They were just... They were basically in need all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Like us, we have everything given to us on a silver platter. We could just indulge.
Control.
Right, exactly. Before, none of that happened.
It was harder for them to become obese or
exactly
out of shape.
They had to hunt for their food. They had to,
But they had other
things,
health things to deal with, obviously.
Yeah, of course, right. Like improper hygiene and other things, right. Low quality of life in general.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
So.
But in our modern times, general fitness is just, I don't know. Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Like you need to like, at least for your own body and your own needs, to know, okay, what kind of diet you need, you know, what sort of foods are good with your body, and what sort of, you know, exercise are you willing to commit.
Yeah. And if you guys want a really good, comprehensive guide of the best gym lifts, just go check out our last episode, which is not technically released at this time, but it should be before this one.
Yeah. Once this is out, that will be out as well. So it's the tier list number 2, which we rank, you know, in our opinion, the best gym lifts.
It's not a spoiler because this is technically in the future, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So we'll say it. You know, we're ranking based on what Arnold approves.
Yeah. So back to this. So basically, the general fitness aspect, I think you could break it down into a couple different, you know, sub branches. So there's the cardiovascular. Notice how I put that one first.
To appease some people.
Right.
Yeah.
To alleviate some of that angst that cardio is the most important thing compared to strength training and any other thing. Anyways,
it's important, yeah.
Yeah. But jokes aside, cardio is probably the most important because let's be honest, if you can't, you know, you can't walk around or you can't have a basic...
If your heart is not beating, then...
Yeah, to put it in a simple way, if your heart's not beating, then you can't really do much. So yeah, cardio is probably the most important. Then you have strength training and flexibility. And you probably have other types of fitness if you want like meditation or, you know, yoga, stuff like that. But
yeah, I think from what I read, I guess you're including like mental health in this. Is it included in the general fitness mental health?
Well, what I'm saying here is like if your body's healthy, your mind is also healthy. So that's kind of the point I wanted to make as well.
Yeah, I mean to a certain point, but I'd argue that, you know, not completely, like not necessarily.
Right.
I think, you know, a lot of people still need to focus on their mental health. You know, if you have a lot of anxiety, depression, or issues in your life with family, friends, toxic relationships, you know, romantic or otherwise, you need to sort that out because, yeah, you can try to lift as much and bench press as much as you want, but if your mind is on overdrive, then... Because I know, because I kind of felt sometimes like that where, yeah, even if I'm training, but like... You know,
yeah, mentally you're not there.
I'm not there, yeah.
And it's true. Like, just because you have a 6-pack or whatever doesn't mean that you're going to be...
mean you're happy.
Right, that you're happy.
Don't you see how many bodybuilders or people, you know, with shredded bodies but still committed suicide? They
overdosed on PEDs or fucking, you know, so many different things
drugs.
could happen. Yeah. So many things, yeah. So, yeah, I kind of made a general statement there, but... You know what I mean. In general, if you focus on your health and your fitness, then it kind of goes hand in hand. Where, you know, if you work on your body, then, you know, your mind is also going to benefit from it. Obviously, it's not a one-to-one fix.
But I guess you can include it in that category. You could say general health and fitness, which includes, you know, physical activity and then your mental state.
Yeah, true. That's a good point. I should have probably made that more explicit in there, but
yeah, so it could like all fit in that one subcategory.
That's a good point. Yeah, for sure. And I find it's a two-way street, right? Like if your body's healthy, then your mind tends to be healthier. But also, if your mind is not right, then, you know, your physical is also going to suffer.
Your performance might not be good. You know, if you're trying to like increase your lifts or your cardiovascular, but if your mind is always elsewhere, then
like just in general, stress is probably one of the worst things for any, you know, fitness related activities
in general.
Yeah.
So, and where does that come from? You know, mind and, you know, your environment. So
yeah, exactly.
It's important.
Like if you're stressed, you can't sleep, then how do you expect to make progress in, you know, your fitness? You probably won't.
Yeah, exactly. So it all kind of goes, you know, it's a two-way street between both worlds. So yeah. And also like the part of like meditation and all that, you know, I've been kind of slightly, you know, delving into that and trying to learn about it. And I think that can be an interesting way of like just grounding ourselves, because we can be so caught up in the day-to-day grind and just like bunch of distractions constantly, you know, the dopamine, we always mention that, that you never realize that it's like, when do you have a time of just sitting and like staring at a wall?
Yeah.
I know,
Or
it's
just closing your eyes and, you know,
just doing
falling
nothing.
into the abyss or something. Just like that's what it feels like. It's like, you know, when you're like, I don't know if you've really meditated before, but
Okay.
I've tried like the Wim Hof method, and
Okay.
there's a period of during that where like you hold your breath and you close your eyes and just try to go deep. It kind of feels like you're just, you know,
Just falling.
you're just falling like in the dark. Like it's a weird feeling, but it's so grounding. It feels good.
Yeah, I know. And I think, you know, we should try to practice that a bit more. Just kind of just zoning out and just focusing really on the present. Sometimes I've just heard people say, you know, you can just touch your fingers and just try to feel that,
Yeah.
you know, or just, you know, feel one part of your body, you know, feel like, you know, touch your skin, you know, do you really feel that, or is your mind still
Yeah.
somewhere else?
And I guess the meditation also ties into like the mental state and the mental,
Yeah,
just
just
you know.
calming yourself, and we can really be in this overthinking mode constantly, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah, so try out the Wim Hof method if you want some meditation stuff.
yeah.
It works out. It's pretty good.
I haven't tried that one, but I'll give it a.
You know who Wim Hof is?
Well, yeah, obviously, man.
We talked
We've
about
talked
him,
about
yeah.
him quite a
It's
few
like
times.
this, the Iceman, they call him. He does some crazy stunts in the deep
The ice.
cold, and he has like world records of like being
He's
in the
insane.
like exposed to the cold. It's pretty insane.
Yeah,
So,
he's an extreme example, but
Yeah.
you can learn from him.
Yeah, so that was sort of general fitness. Then there's basic manual skills. I think it's important to know, like, you know, if I read something interesting from Jordan Peterson's book. If your house is not in order, then how can your mind be in order? That was like a really interesting thing that he said. And it's like, if you can't fix basic things in your house, or, you know, when something goes wrong, how can you, you know, have a calm state of mind,
clear
or
mind,
a
yeah.
clear mind?
Yeah, I tend to agree with that, because I'm also someone, you know, that's organized and, you know, tries to. I mean, I do lack sometimes a bit in the manual skills, which I'm trying to, you know, get better at. You know, cooking, yeah, I do little and whatever, but sometimes, you know, like cleaning, or what do I use, or how do I do this, or how do I change this lamp? Okay, I can change the lamp, but like sometimes, you know, it doesn't come too automatic. I have to kind of think about it. But yeah, it's definitely a good thing to know, because back in the day, people used to know a lot of manual skills, but now everything is just, you know, on
Yeah,
the
exactly.
computer, and it's someone else who does it for you. Oh, you need your car fixed? Okay, somebody does it. Oh, you need your plumbing, or you need
Yeah,
this.
but it doesn't have to be as complex as learning how to fix your car. It could be as simple as learning how to cook, right? Like you said.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm saying for people that, like, you know,
But you get it, yeah.
some people honestly, some people don't know how to cook.
No, I know.
And that's pretty.
And they just constantly
Right.
order.
It's bad. Like, it's not good for your health. That we just spoke about that. And it's also, you know, it's just
Just a
important,
general
right?
life skill where, let's say you can order.
Right.
What do you
let's
do
say,
in that
let's say you get
situation?
children, right? You're gonna order for them all the time. No, you're gonna want to cook. You want to, you know, you want them to be healthy.
Yeah, exactly.
If you can't take care of
At
yourself,
least them.
how are you gonna take care of them, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So,
So I think that's important. That's why I put that in there.
yeah, cooking, cleaning, like you said, fixing stuff around the house. It's just good, like, you know, ties into home economics. I don't know
Yeah.
if you know that subject. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think, like, back in the day, you know, they would teach that in school.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I've heard, I guess maybe more in American schools or whatever, but like,
Is it economics or ergonomics?
no, home economics.
Okay,
Yeah.
economics. Okay.
No, ergonomics would be
Yeah,
like,
ergonomics is like
your
the
body.
comfort of your home, whatever. Yeah.
But yeah, I think in the past, like maybe 50s, 60s, I don't know, they would teach that, but I don't, nowadays, not really. Which is an important thing, you know, how to take care of your house. Just that, like,
Exactly.
how do you take care of everything in your house? Cooking, cleaning, laundry, whatever, changing a light bulb, fixing something. I don't know.
And same, like, this is an area that I feel like I need to improve on, and that's,
Mm-hmm.
you know, just talking about it makes me feel like, you know,
I
it's
need
not
to.
it's not the end, and we could still progress in that. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, of course. You know, we shouldn't feel discouraged. But
Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's an important
Definitely
one.
good
And the
skill.
last one I put in here is appearance, right? And it kind of
Yes.
ties into the suit thing going on here and the
See, you guys take us more seriously because we got a suit on.
exactly.
Come
right?
on, admit
you
it.
got to play the part a bit.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, okay, we're joking, but it is true. Me, especially with the appearance, like the last like 3 years, I've been really honing on it and really making sure that I buy clothes that fit me, that look nice. I go with more of the classic, traditional style. I don't veer too much, with the current trends or fashion. I just buy stuff that works and fits because I know that first impressions matter, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And it also helps with your confidence.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Yeah, that's exactly the point.
It comes back to that.
And this is also an area that personally, okay, I do like a minimum effort to like look presentable, whatever. Take
But
a
you can
shower,
work on it.
but I could definitely work on it. Let's be honest.
Yeah, like on the clothing side.
I definitely don't wear suits every day. That's for sure.
No, I mean I don't either, but
We're not like
times-
Lex Friedman.
he's like suit all day. I wonder if he does wear a suit,
Yeah,
24/7.
I heard he wears suits just exactly that reason. Like he says, when he wears the suit, like it just makes him feel more confident. He can get more stuff done, more productive. And
Because I think like his suit has become his uniform.
yeah, it's just like a trademark at this point.
Yeah, it's his uniform. Yeah, but it is. Your clothes. The clothes that you wear. Let's say on a daily, it kind of does become your uniform. People who just wear like a hoodie and just like baggy pants constantly, and we just think of them as, oh, okay, it's that guy who doesn't really take care of himself, who's always dressed kind of meh. Not saying that we need to be judgy on people, but let's be honest. Like someone who comes to a job interview with, at least just a dress shirt on or something versus someone who's just, loose
Wearing
t-shirt
baggy jeans or something,
or some
yeah.
baggy jeans. Who do you think will likely get the job?
Yeah. I guess nowadays also like in the virtual world it doesn't matter as much, but like
Which is kind of sad, because it's like we're becoming more and more casual with the times,
yeah, exactly.
Not that we need to wear suits all day, but like
Yeah, we're
could.
just lowering our standards as
A lot.
human beings a lot. That's how it is. And here's I don't know, this is kind of like an aside, but like you mentioned like first impressions earlier, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, let's say you're trying to, get into a relationship with someone or, try to attract the other sex or whatever. Like if you dress like a slob, like you probably won't have a lot of chance with that. But also I thought of something really funny the other day. This whole thing going on with masks and all that. Like it's such a different dynamic now, right? Like everyone's just covered. Like how do you, do you attract other people like based on like, just basically the bottom down?
just the bottom, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's harder. But I mean, we're going off of that now. I mean,
I hope.
not everyone is wearing, masks now.
Yeah,
We can at
but
least
still,
see
it's
people's
just
faces.
like an aside from like when it was happening.
But during the pandemic,
Yeah.
obviously the dating was, difficult and
because it's crazy, like when you have the mask and like then the person takes off the mask, it's like you're in my head.
catfish.
Yeah, it's like you're getting catfish in real life because in your head, it's like your head is making
You're
like
like,
a
"Oh,
more
okay."
beautiful person
that they
than
actually
they actually are, and then they take it off. You're like, wow, I didn't expect you to look like that.
Yeah, I've seen like a little like short on YouTube where it's just like, it's like two people. It's a guy who plays a girl and a guy, and then the guy is like taking his mask off, and then the girl starts taking the mask off, and she has like a really funny face,
Like an overbite or something.
Yeah, like something like that. And then they're just like staring at each other, and then the guy just comes and puts the mask back on.
Oh my god, exactly. It's weird.
He's like, you know what? Just keep the mask on. I think we're good like that.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, appearance matters, and it's gonna bring you far if you take care of yourself, I guess.
Yeah, just general, again, I guess tied with your cleanliness, your hygiene, grooming, right? Because a lot of guys sometimes they just let their beards grow or hair grow.
That would be me.
Sometimes
yeah.
you do that, but no, it's not that bad. But just keep it in check, man. Like,
Now it's not bad, right?
no, you're good now. Yeah, pretty nice.
You guys approve of my beard?
Thumbs up. Yeah, first impressions matter. People judge you. Okay, is that a bad thing?
Well,
Well, look,
that's just how it is. It's
when-
not a good or a bad thing. It's
when
just
you
what
go
it
buy
is.
a book, don't you judge it by the cover?
You do. Like, as much as you
As
don't,
much as we
you
say
you
don't judge a book.
you will. Like, come on. Like,
If
you
it was
see,
blank, would you
Right.
buy it? No.
probably won't. Exactly.
Appearance attract, and what's inside then keeps.
Exactly. Yeah. Well said. And appearance also ties into fitness, right? Because if 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 you're not healthy and overweight, whatever, then you're not gonna
Then
look
that
very.
lowers your chances a bit more.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. So there's a lot of different elements to this, and I think we covered it pretty well.
Good.
Do you like the image I put there?
Yeah, you put like every man should master.
It's like this man going under like barbed wire.
Oh, okay.
Just,
Kind of looks like some military
Yeah.
drills.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So that's for the physical skills. Now let's get into the intellectual skills. So the first one I put is
Knowledge.
mastery of knowledge, mastery of a discipline. So getting educated in a particular field is going to help you just in general, finding a job if you want that, just applying it also in general life, right? Like let's say you are trying to, I don't know, make a computer program to help you automate certain tasks, whatever. If you have a background in coding and computer programming, then it's going to make it easier for you to execute in real life, right? So just educating yourself is always good.
Yeah, so the discipline, it's just good to be specialized at least, in one thing in a particular field because
Although
you can
it's
go
not
further.
it's not like mandatory, right? The money's mandatory. That's a lyric from Tupac. Sorry. So it's not necessarily mandatory, I guess. Like you could be specialized in something, but I find some people know a lot of different things in a lot of different fields at once, and that's also okay. And that's kind of my second point. It's also like the ability to multitask, right? So being well versed in different things is going to bring you, I think, much further than being good at just one thing, right? And just that's all you imagine. You just knew how to do one thing. It's not going to bring you very far in life, rather than if you're really well versed in different things.
Yeah, so the thing, the thing to understand here is that if you are ultra specialized in something, then you can go really far into that, Do you want to be the best surgeon in the nation? Do you want to be the best math teacher? Do you want to be the best economist, the best whatever? Then you need to really specialize in that and sacrifice other things, right? So at the end of the day, kind of what also Jordan talks about in general is what are you sacrificing in life,
We're talking about Jordan Peterson, by the way.
Yeah. Jordan. We do mention him a lot.
He just said Jordan, like we knew who Jordan was.
I kind of assume,
You
that
guys know
by
Jordan.
now. You're Jordan or buddy. So yes, as Dr. Peterson says,
Now we're quoting him officially.
that at the end of the day, you need to pick your sacrifices,
Okay, yeah.
And he says that people who really sacrifice everything and just focus on one thing, they could become like the best of the best, but they're losing out on other things in life, family, friends, social time, and just other pleasures in life and other experiences because they just want to be the best in one thing.
Yeah, that's a good point. Pick your sacrifices is what you said, right?
Yeah.
So, it's a good point. So if you want to get really specialized in something, you're probably gonna have to sacrifice some other aspects or areas, whatever. But I think multitasking is still something good to have. Let's be real. Like if you're able to do different things, right? If you know a bit of engineering, but you also know a bit of business, then you could combine those two.
You could combine and then still have a successful
right, exactly.
life, Yeah, that's the thing. It's like not everyone needs to, I don't know, become Elon Musk or something,
Yeah, well, here's the thing. He's ultra
But he's
specialized, but
still,
he's also
like,
very multiversed. He's also like really well versed in different areas, right?
Different businesses and
Exactly.
different types of worlds, really. So I guess, he's a,
he's an exception, like I
he's a
guess.
special case there, but I don't know who else.
Yeah, I'm sure there are other examples,
Bill
but
Gates or something.
yeah. Yeah, and I think another intellectual skill, and kind of ties it back to the communication thing, is learning multiple languages. Because I think learning multiple languages is going to really expand your horizons in the sense where you could communicate with different people from all over the world, whether it be in business and whatever venture you decide to delve into. You're just going to be more equipped in a sense to talk to people and get things done.
Yeah. I think a lot of, the U.S. people could, benefit from this.
Yeah, I mean, U.S. That's a pretty good example because English, I guess, is one of those, universal languages, and people in the U.S. or even in Canada think, all right, I only need to speak English because a lot of, areas in the world
rest of
speak
the world
English.
does.
But at the same time, if you go into Europe, not many people speak English. Let's say you go to Italy. Like I'm from, like my family's Italian, and when I went to Italy, like I didn't see many people speaking English, right?
Yeah, I guess if you go in like certain like village communities or not in like the most touristy or urban areas, then
No, not even like just in Rome in general. Like not not.
yeah,
that
but I
many
guess
people.
Italy maybe.
Yeah, but that's just one example.
One
But
yeah.
that goes for them too, right? They just speak Italian. Like you might as well expand and learn different languages too.
Yeah, obviously you can learn like a lot of
No, you can't learn
languages.
10 languages, or well, you'd be surprised. Some people can, but
No, I know, yeah.
it's hard.
Multi.
I'm just saying, try to
Try to
maybe a
learn,
second
yeah,
at
one or
least,
two
yeah.
languages. Not really like to be able to like speak formally or professionally, just to
to
be,
get by.
yeah, to get by. But I think what the point is of learning other languages is understanding, different perspective and different ways people think because of the language they speak, right?
Yeah.
Because when you're speaking a certain language like English, there's like a thought pattern that is maybe different in another language. I don't know if you understand
I know what you mean. Like there's some languages like for example Arabic or even Armenian. You guys kind of use these metaphors while you're speaking.
Yeah.
Where in English we don't have that, so it's actually interesting to see how that is, right?
Or also like just the way they like conjugate verbs or like put the pronoun like before or after, or just the way they structure sentences, and I guess how people express themselves.
Yeah.
Just the feelings, the way they talk, in some languages they can be really aggressive or passionate, in other languages like
Yeah, just like a funny little kind of anecdote, I guess, on this is when I went to Italy. So I went to visit my aunt that was there, my great aunt, and basically every time the phone rings, they always say pronto, and pronto in Italian means ready. So it's like I was like, "What? You guys say ready when you answer the phone? Like, what the heck is that all about?" They're like, "Yeah, like what do you guys say?" I'm like, "Hi."
Yeah,
What
like,
else do I want
hello.
to see? Yeah, like it's funny. And then they're like, "Wow, that's so weird. Why would you say hello?" I'm like, "Why would you guys say ready?" See, so like there is like a disconnect somewhere. Like we don't understand certain traditions because
Cultural.
yeah, we don't speak the language. Well, I speak Italian, but I didn't know that because I don't live in Italy, right?
Yeah, because it's a different culture, and yeah, exactly. So you see, it's like just the way they think and how they interact with each other.
exactly.
So it could be a good, could be eye opening, right?
Yeah. So anything else for the intellectual skills you could think of?
Intellectual skills. I mean, yeah, I know it's a little cliche, but Tai Lopez, knowledge, right? Gathering knowledge in general. Reading books, listening to podcasts, just expanding your mind, right? That's what we're about.
Yeah. I agree. Reading books is a big one, I find. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing that's gonna teach you about something more than reading a book.
Like in depth.
In
really.
depth.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than that.
You could watch a lot of videos on something, but reading is just, different.
Yeah, because what I find with a book is that you're always able to you make your own opinion about what someone's writing, and that's the most important thing. It's like someone gives you like a text, whatever, you read it, and then you have to think back, like, okay, what does he mean by this? Like I see these words, but then you try you
What is my interpretation?
what is your interpretation? What is the real meaning behind this? And that's when the digging starts, and that's when you're actually becoming smarter and expanding your mind by doing that, right?
Yeah. Whereas videos, a lot of times it's more passive consumption. You're just
Yeah.
like sitting back and it's like consuming, but
Exactly.
it might not stick. So
Yeah.
gain knowledge, especially from books.
Yeah, it's a good one. So that was for the intellectual one. So we only have 2 more categories.
Sure.
So the next one is financial skills. And the first skill I noted,
This is mandatory.
yeah, the money is mandatory, is how to spend money. Okay. This one I think is like one of the most important, even before just like, talking
Doing
about
other
market
things.
and savings. I think one of the most important thing, because this is something you get exposed to like when you're really young, right? Like your parents give you an allowance, whatever, and you go spend it right away.
Or what your parents buy or how they spend money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If your parents are spending money on drugs or some shit, like no, but honestly, like some parents do that, and then their kids see that, and they're like, oh, maybe that's how I have to
That's
spend my money,
normal.
right?
Yeah, they buy, alcohol every
Yeah.
week or cigarettes.
And then they end up buying drugs too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, of course, you indirectly teach spending habits.
Exactly. So I think how to spend your money is such an important thing to learn. It's so hard to control, like,
Impulse.
and I think that's where the most important thing is, to learn how to control yourself with whatever funds you have, because the more you have, the more funds you have, the more you want to buy, and that could turn into something like a really bad, vicious circle. If you,
Yeah, there's a term for that. It's called lifestyle creep,
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
which means that, as you make more money, your lifestyle creeps up. It
makes sense.
it catches up with, how much money you make, and the whole keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
where you're trying to look at, what did they get? Let me try to get that. Because the people who really, stay rich and are able to grow their wealth is people who, they make more, but they're able to keep their spending relatively the same, even, years later. But yes, obviously, if you're someone that's poor and you want like a house or something, or you want to build a family, then obviously your spending is going to reach to a certain point and increase. But I guess once you reach a point where you're comfortable, then you need to start again, saying, okay, what can I sacrifice? What do I really need? Or is it just a desire, just a want?
Yeah. Put that in the promo clip. That was good.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That was a interesting fact there. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's called lifestyle creep, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Interesting. Cool. So yeah, learn how to spend your money. It's important because, like you said, it's gonna creep up on you, and you're just gonna want more and more and more. So the next one I think that's important to understand is the market and the economy in general. So just having a basic grasp of what the market is, how it fluctuates, how the economy is at the present moment. If we're in a bad financial state or in a good one, whatever. And I think it's important to know, because you could base so much of your life or so much of your business and your monetary income on how the market is doing. So I think it's important.
Yeah. I mean, everyone always, throws the catchphrase, the economy is bad, right? It's always, you can't do anything in this economy.
Yeah, that's the classic one, right?
Yeah. But, going deeper than that, it's good to understand, okay, are we in a recession? Are we in a growth period? Are we, how is the real estate market? Or just the general, stock market? What is, the health of the economy? And also look at, inflation rates, right? Because that eats in your purchasing power. The more inflation raises, the less your dollar is worth.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
That's how it works. So that's always good to know, so you can strategize and know how to move forward with your money. Okay, should I be saving and investing? Which is the next point. Yeah. So that's the segue.
Yeah. So
if you wanna.
So saving and investing, right? That was a pretty good segue there. Just learning how to save up your money for whatever it may be, retirement, or just learning how to invest and grow your profit, not necessarily just through working and accumulating work hours, whatever. You can have passive income that comes in and helps you, whether it may be through, crypto or investing in stocks. So learning about the stock market again, the real estate market as well, like you mentioned before. So many different areas to invest in. It could be ETFs, it could be whatever,
Crypto.
Crypto's a big one.
Hot stuff.
Although crypto is doing terribly right now.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
And this time it's not a FOMO thing. It's oh no, last time. Okay, if you guys saw the FOMO episode, HAIKO'S teaser was he tricked me and he's saying, "Oh, Bitcoin is on fire right now."
Yeah.
Now it's the opposite of that.
No, it's just complete. Yeah, because I did invest a bit. Like I had bought like ETFs of like Bitcoin and Ethereum last year. So it's been a year, and my portfolio dropped 65%.
Yeah, it's not good.
Madness.
It's a bad time.
But it wasn't a lot. I hadn't put like a ton of money. It was like $1,000 or something, and it went down to like 300. I was like, what the frick is this? But
yeah,
who knows?
Sucks.
It could jump up again, and pretty high. But that's the thing. Those kind of investing strategies are more volatile. Crypto is known to be volatile.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like you were saying before, we're kind of we're not in a total recession yet, but we might be going towards that.
We might be, yeah. It's like or I don't know. Are we unofficially in a recession?
Yeah, exactly. Like I haven't heard anyone say like we're officially in it, but like kind of feels like it.
It kind of does, yeah. But yeah. So saving, just in general, keeping your money and not overspending. The investing part, yeah. Investing. Well, I guess there's like two ways to think about it, right? You either sacrifice your time for money, or you sacrifice some of the money you have for the potential of having gains, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, why are you getting gains back? Like, why are you getting money back on the money you put? Because you're risking it. You're like giving it to the market, so the market grows, and then you get something back in return. So
yeah, exactly. So learn how to invest your time and your money properly, I guess.
Yeah. Just like basic, portfolios with like the ETFs, which track, indexes of markets. I know this might sound mumbo jumbo, but you could, research that on YouTube. I mean, there's plethora of like,
or read a book on it,
or read a book, yeah. But
so yeah,
it's not a bad thing to learn, yeah.
Mm-hmm, definitely. All right, so that's any other financial skills you can think of?
Financial skills, other than that, yeah, it's okay. You can still buy your coffee.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Okay. Yeah, I can't really think of any other ones, but maybe learning about like how the banking system works. Sometimes, like I go to the bank sometimes, and I'm like confused about what they're telling me and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I guess we can kind of throw that in of just understanding. Yeah, like how debit works, how credit works, how loans work. Line of credit, mortgages, interest rate.
You worked in that, right?
No, yeah, not really. I worked at a credit bureau.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
No, but we didn't issue. We weren't.
Yeah,
like
I know. But I did interact with that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because I checked people's credit files and I saw
credit scores and all that stuff. Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's pretty important to know. Stuff
credit
too.
score, yes. Oh yeah, I mean that's a good one actually, a pretty important one that a lot of people don't think. Build your credit,
exactly.
Because once the time comes, you want to buy a car or a house, then it's like, okay, what do I do? And the best way, if I can give a tip, because I worked at a credit bureau, is as soon as you can, get a simple credit card and just use it, but don't use it as in like, I have free money. No. Use as much as you can that you can pay back.
Yeah.
Right.
Pay the minimum, each month, and make sure that you're on time with your
pay
billings.
The full.
Okay, well, there you go. Don't listen to me.
No. Yeah, because with time, you're gonna just keep on paying the minimum, and interest is gonna come up. And
so basically, pay the amount on your last statement. That's kind of what I meant instead.
Yeah.
But.
Or just as soon as you buy something with your credit card, a week or two after, try to pay as much as you can or in full. just to be safe.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
And
with
don't
time-
don't let it accumulate, right? Don't let your the amount stay for a long time on your card.
because you're gonna accumulate interest.
Yeah, exactly. Like they say, if like your amount, let's say your credit limit is like $2,000. If you have more money than like 35% of that amount, then you get interest on that amount since it's already higher.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, you get interest based on, how much you didn't pay, basically. You have a minimum each month to not be delinquent. Like, let's say $10 each month. But if you have $100 still left to pay, then you're still accumulating interest. The bank isn't giving you that for free.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
So, yeah.
So I think that pretty much covers it for financial skills, and now let's just move on to the last category. So this one we only have
Drawing
two.
Mona Lisa.
Yeah, there's the Mona Lisa on it here. So I drew that, by the way. Painted it, sorry.
And you're an Italian.
I am. I'm.
Italian mafias.
Yeah. I'm Tony Soprano that painted the Mona Lisa.
You're Don Lombardi.
Dawn. All right. I am the Dawn. Okay. So, yeah, creative skills. I think the first one that I put here is just learn to express yourself through art, whatever that art might be. And art is pretty abstract in a sense where everyone kind of has a different definition of what art is, right? Like you could have paintings, you could have music, but some other people say, let's say martial arts, right? That's an art.
Yeah, it's a way to like express yourself.
There's so many. Yoga could be an art. There could be so many things.
Or projects that you do, or you build something, or you do gardening. I don't know, and
lifting, whatever. It could be anything.
Anything that you're creating and you're like expressing, and it's not scientific in a way or
exactly
logical. It's just
so I think you could learn a lot by doing that. Like I feel like there's so much to be learned by just learning an art and whatever it might be, whatever you want to consider an art, because it just helps you to expand your mind and become more creative and learn new ideas and practice and having good habits, developing good habits from it. I think that's a big one. Like for example, when I was learning to play guitar, like I'd spend so many hours practicing, and I feel like that translated to other things in my life. Like I'd sit down and learn something, and it was hard to learn, like to learn that piece I was playing, whatever, and then I feel like I took that work ethic and I put it in other stuff that I do, right? Okay. Lifting. Like I kind of have that same approach where, everything has to be done properly, accurately. And you can learn so much by doing that.
I mean, creativity in general is good to have because it like opens your mind to like different ways of thinking and, the expression of thinking out of the box.
Yeah, literally.
Literally. It comes from that where, you might be stuck on a problem, but then having like a creative outlet makes you be like, ding, light bulb flashes and
it's real.
Figure out a solution.
Yeah, sorry. For example, like let's say you have a problem in life, whatever, and you sit down, play on your piano or something, and then for some reason, like the problem doesn't seem as bad, and you figure it out somehow. Like it's weird. Like that happens to me.
It could, I guess it could also be like an emotional outlet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it helps, right? It's just it helps you release what you're feeling, and
then subsequently clear your mind.
Exactly. You clear your mind from it.
Mm-hmm. So I guess it has multiple benefits. It's just it's an expression of your emotions, your feelings, problems that you have. Why is it that so many artists, or let's just take music, right? They always sing about their heartbreak, their depression, their relationships with people, difficulties in life. It's always, songs are always stories about those kind of things. A lot of times about love, but
and also on another note, get it? On another note, they say that like learning how to play music is actually really good for your brain because it's one of the only like activities that uses different senses at the same time. So you're using like the tactile, then you're using the auditive, then you're using the visual too. So you're using different sense. How do you call them? just basically different senses,
Yeah.
and there's not many activities that actually allow you to do that all at the same time.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, I've never thought of it like that. I mean, I always just thought, yeah, it's more like, the auditory sense, but
yeah, you're still you're still looking at what you're doing. Although some people could
Muscle
play
memory.
blind, but I mean, people that
Yeah.
are not blind could use their eyes to help them play.
muscle memory.
Muscle memory. There's all that comes into play, so it's actually pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
The only one I guess is like the taste, unless you play with your mouth there, but that's kind of weird.
Damn.
Got
Harmonica or
kinky a little
something.
bit here, yeah. And this kind of segues into my next one. It's like learn through just a skill that I don't know. It's kind of random. I put this in here, but
It's more specific.
yeah, it's kind of more specific, and for me, it's a big one because I feel like I've learned so much just with music in general, because you can learn so much just by listening to someone's music, understand what they're feeling and how it translates to how you're feeling, and then you could, let's say, look at the lyrics of the song and then see how that ties into your life, and then you could even learn language from the song. Like there's so many things. Like I learned like when I was in CJEP, I remember college for people in Quebec, a lot of my friends were like, oh, like you're pretty good at writing and all this stuff, like, but you don't seem to like read or anything. And for some reason I was like, yeah, why is that? Like, it's weird. And then I thought back, it's like, I feel like it might be from the music I'd listened to as a kid, because I listened to like these bands like Iron Maiden and all these weird bands, and all the lyrics are like super like weird and complex, and it's like you're kind of reading a story, and it's weird. It's you
It's
you
not
can
a
learn
simple pop song.
yeah,
or
it's
something.
not, and it's like the lyrics really have meaning and all that, and maybe I don't know, I kind of
rubbed
developed
off
that
on
from
you.
there. It's weird.
Could be. Yeah.
So you could definitely learn with music.
Yeah, music and just other types of arts, really. As much as they can express emotions and feelings, they can also just teach you about, the perspective of the artist and how they see the world and how they express themselves.
Yeah.
It could be a learning, process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So any other creative skills?
Any other creative skills? What other creative skills?
I'm always putting him on the spot, but it's not that important if he gets
Any
it.
other question? Yeah. We always do that together.
Yeah, we always show each other the microphone, like the fake one.
Yeah. Say something. I think the main one is to be able to express yourself creatively. Creative skills, maybe. Trying to think. I guess creative skills in like other aspects, like let's say in your work. Sometimes being a little creative, in the way you approach things, and not always having to be per process or
By the book.
by the book can be helpful.
But here's the thing, that kind of ties into the express yourself through art thing, because like I said, art is very subjective, and it could be anything, right? It could be like back to like the example of lifting weights, right? Like a lot of people had this specific way of doing exercises, and then let's say West Side Barbell comes in and they change everything. And that's just the art. It's like art, right? They developed this whole thing, not by science that much. It's just, it was by experimentation
Experimenting
and,
and
trying
being
out
different.
different things. And that's where the art comes in. If you have a job and,
You
usually-
always just follow by the book.
exactly. Then there's that art component where you
It's
go
like,
in
how
and
do I?
how do you twist it to make it your own or whatever, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, you're not like in this rigid box, think outside the box again. It comes to that where, you can find, or like a road. Think of it as a road, you're like, you have a grid, but then you branch out. And you
Yeah,
find
exactly.
another curve. And-
Yeah, so that sums it up for the creative skills.
Yep.
So any honorable mentions that you could think of?
Of other valuable skills.
I asked you this question quite a few times today, so I don't think Heiko could come up with another one. So I guess we could jump over this one.
Yes, yeah, I think we covered
We went
quite a
pretty
few.
deep. I think the format of this one was better than last time, though.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah,
We were able to talk about some important skills.
in a better way too.
Yeah, just more streamlined, I guess. All right. Okay, so any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Become a better person. Yeah, I guess it's hard to be perfect in all of these categories of skills, right? We can always strive to be better, but do note that you always be lacking in some way in
Yeah.
one of the categories or not. It's just it's just normal part of life. You can't be perfect in everything, but it's the attitude that counts, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to improve yourself, and how much, and how much are you willing to do, right? Do you need to have perfect communication skills, or do you need to appear your best? You need to be the most creative, the best financial person, the best. Is there someone who has all of the skills that we mentioned? 100%.
No, of course not.
Right? No.
It's impossible.
But they're all like, little tiers that you can try to increase. And if you're like, you know what, like my health, man, whatever, I don't need to like focus on my fitness. Okay. But what are you doing? That's a sacrifice right there. You're
Right,
sacrificing
yeah.
your health, but to what extent, and what consequence?
And that might, in turn, kind of make other skills suffer from it. If you're not in, like we talked about earlier, right? If you're not in shape, if you can't get off the couch because you're out of breath,
Yeah.
then how can you go to work and work on your intellectual skills or whatever, right?
Yeah, exactly. That can, just fall down onto other parts of your life.
Yeah.
So know that, if you're not focusing on one thing, then you're sacrificing one aspect or one skill. But, you have to balance it and see, what is it that I can be lacking a bit, but still be able to have an enjoyable life and progress as a person.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing I wrote here is that, learning these skills can increase your chance at love and mating. Because what's the actual purpose of life?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we all implicitly or explicitly want, find a partner, find love. It's cliche to say, but yeah, find someone to share your life with. And
No, but I think what I actually want to say is the real purpose of life is to reproduce.
okay, yeah, true.
So, it'll help you get towards that goal, I guess, if that's really your ambition.
Yeah, I mean, some people don't care about it, but
Yeah.
but biologically and like it's just in our nature, really, most people,
Yeah.
that's what pushes them forward, right?
Yeah. So that pretty much sums it up for today's episode.
Yeah.
You could check out our podcasts on all the big streaming platforms: YouTube, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. Just leave a comment. Let us know what you're curious about. Let us know what you thought about this episode, and if you guys think of any other essential skills, just let us know
In the comments.
Yeah, leave a like, subscribe, do all that jazz, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.
All right. See you guys. Bye. Thanks.
Bye.
Play us out.